Welcome back to the broadcast. It's going to be a beehive of activity this morning, but it's all in the desire to make sure that we are enlightened, we are informed, we are entertained. It is Thursday. Most of the Thursdays then will have that aspect of fitness, but today we're doing it a little bit different. We just want to have a chit chat with nutritionists so that they can tell us how you get your nutrition proper, and of course imperative to maximize athletic performance, which is very, very important. Sometimes you want to hit the gym, you're into so much activities, but you do not get results, and you start asking yourself just why. It is because the nutritionist will tell you it's very, very important that this would go in tandem with what it is that you eat. And so as we get to understand just how good our nutrients should be, so that we get our athletes and we have our gymnasts, and we also have those ones that hit the gym a little bit feeling proper and not sluggish and not with so much of fatigue, it is important that we get this conversation of the nutrition right. And of course evidence shows very well that proper nutrition then supports activity. And so joining me for this conversation is Gladys Chepkurui, who's a nutritionist, as well as another nutritionist, Geneva, Achieng, for this very conversation. I do not know whether then, of course, they'll give us justice to this, but because they're nutritionists, they will tell us so much. So you hit the gym once in a while?
Yeah.
You do, yes?
Yeah, we do.
And you understand how important it would be for one to hit the gym and as well get their food right so that they get to have results. Most of the times we'll hit the gym, we just eat aimlessly, and then we start saying that the gym is not working. Or sometimes we are on diet and we also do a lot of exercise, we do not get results, and then we say, well, perhaps this diet, I was given a wrong diet by the nutritionist. So we understand that these two go hand in hand. Just how important then is nutrition when we relate this to fitness?
Thank you so much. What we can handle when you come to nutrition, before we begin, it's important for us to know what is nutrition essentially and what is food, because all these are playing an integral part in the life of each and everyone. And we know that when we are working out, it is our aim is to keep fit, to have a figure that when you are out there, it's you can manage, like you can easily move. And so nutrition is an aspect, or is a science where you make you take in food, and this food now goes hand in hand to provide the essential nutrients that are helpful in keeping and maintaining your body. And when it comes to nutrition, these nutrients, you get them from the food that you eat. And so when you take the food, now the consideration on the food that you take, because it is very important to know, because you could be eating but not eating the right food, and you could also be eating but eating a lesser quantity as expected, or you could be also doing too much. All this brings an important part that we talk about portioning, and as we have known that nutrition goes hand in hand with exercise and fitness. So when we go to the gym and you are not keeping your diet, then your goal, the goal that you want to achieve, you won't be achieving at that time. So nutrition is very essential as you also go back to the gym.
All right, I agree. And so this comes to us asking Achieng this, just how important is nutrition when it comes to one setting their fitness goals? You want to get into this journey, but then you have to get your nutrition right so that in 2 months, in 3 months, I'll have achieved this, and this then will have hugely been aided by how I consume the foods.
Thank you so much. This fitness, when you want to achieve your fitness, it's important you first know which kind of fitness you want to achieve. Others are overweight, they want to have an ideal weight. Okay. Others are underweight, they want to add some weight. Others want to build their muscles. So as you hit the gym, it's important you discuss with the dietitian so that you know how to manage your diet and how to manage your weight. First of all, for those who want to get their weight reduced, it's important that you minimize on your carbohydrates, because carbohydrates, as much as it's the fuel to the body or the energy that helps us to move around, it has a lot of calories, and when it's taken in excess, the excess one is stored in the body in form of fats. This is what now makes one to increase weight, right? And for those who want to build their muscles, it's also important you discuss with your dietitian to know the kind of foods that are important, the kind of foods that will help you to achieve your goal. And for the muscle builders, the most important kind of food or type of food, for them, they'll dwell much on the proteins, because these are the bodybuilding foods, the ones that strengthen their muscles. And equally for those who would want to add some more weight, it's important first to know the weight you are at that time before you hit the gym, the weight you would want to achieve, so that you gradually and healthily increase your weight to the desired weight you would want to achieve. And the weight, those want to increase their weights, it's important that they dwell more on the carbohydrates, because but they do it healthily.
Okay.
It's not good that you take excess of it. Yeah, because excess of it will also bring some problems to your body in terms of metabolism. Yeah.
All right. Well, very, very important points there. There are instances where then you want to get to hit the gym and you're introduced to supplements, and you're also advised to, consume specific nutrients, like you say, go to specific vitamins, go to specific proteins and all that. Just how important is this for one to achieve the desired results? And this perhaps to you, Gladys.
Thank you so much for this session. You talked about supplement. First and foremost, we know that the food that we are taking has enough nutrients in it. So if you consider your portioning very well, then all these proteins, you'll be able to get it in the right full amount from the food that you consume. And we know that proteins, we can get them from the plant sources or from the animal sources. And now, considering that the plant sources are more bioavailable, that it means that they get into the body, they are fast digested and they are available in the body as compared to the plants. So when we talk about food, the food is able to give you that required amount. So supplements, we would recommend to come, we'd recommend that supplement you can do when your intake is not adequate and your immunity is compromised in a way that your body cannot be able to meet that required amount. But we recommend, as the nutritionist, get your food, let your food provide that protein that you need, because this protein play an integral part in your body. Because when you go to the gym, the first thing that happens, your body undergoes to muscle stress. And that may end up you either achieving your goal, that is, maybe if you wanted to reduce your weight, you wanted to keep fit by reducing your weight, then that muscle wasting is important at that point. So we now we consider that proteins now help us in that part. So your intake should be also adequate to supplement that process during metabolism. Yes.
Sustainability, Achieng, then would be very, very important, and we want to look at nutritional habits that are sustainable in times when you have hit the gym, in times that you are in intense and excessive activity, and even in times when you take it a little bit slow, so that you do not want to have a reverse of the same. How do you make sure that you are keen on your nutrition to achieve the same?
Oh, thank you so much. First of all, food needs discipline. Yeah, if you have your goals that you want to achieve, you must be disciplined in order to achieve your goals. So it's important, first, if you want to have a desired weight and to maintain that, you must discuss this with your dietitian.
Yeah.
In so doing, your dietitian will be able to explain to you how to go about this. And it's important always that we do small, frequent meals instead of doing bulk at once. You skip meals, then of course every time you skip a meal you'll be more hungrier. So it's important that you maintain the morning breakfast, mid-morning snack, you take your lunch, evening snack, you take your supper or dinner, then late evening snack. By so doing, your body will not be in a position whereby there's you'll not get too hungry at a point. So it when taking meals, small frequent meals, it enables the sugar to get in the blood in smaller portions, and this one helps in maintaining the blood sugar and regulating your hungriness. Yes.
All right, and you have been huge on the question of consultation of dietitian. which I think is one thing that we really need to understand the importance of the same. Is it always necessary that when you decide that perhaps you're going to go for gym sessions, that you also incorporate the wisdom of dietitians? Because most of the times you just go to the gym and say, well, from today onwards I want to enroll, and most of the people will not focus much on getting to speak to nutritionists or dietitians on the same. Just how crucial and important is this, even as we look at, you know, some of the ways that we can make sure that we have this nutrition that helps us balance our performance on daily?
Thank you so much.
Can go with, yes.
Yeah, it's important to consult a dietitian, because people go to the gym with different weights, with different intentions. One goes to the gym to add weight, another goes to the gym to reduce weight, another goes to the gym to build muscles. And there are different foods that need to be increased, others need to be reduced to attain a desired weight that one needs. So the dietitian will be able to know the weight that the current weight, the weight you want to achieve. The dietitian will also be able to help you to know the kind of foods you need to eat before the exercise, during the exercise, what you need to have, and also after the exercise.
So it is important that you walk with them through the journey.
Yes. True.
Okay. Yeah. It is very, very important. There are those ones that just work out, you know, like workout is their lifestyle. You know what, you just need to keep fit. How important would it be for such to have also the advice of dietitians? And this goes to you, Gladys.
Thank you so much. As you have heard that the main thing that you go to the gym, at the back of your mind, know the goal that you want to achieve at the end of the session. So even as you work out, you know that your body, your body has a lot of function, and for you to carry out each and every day to be successful, then you need that nutritionist, or you need that diet to boost you. So as you go work out, you make sure that you work out to achieve that goal, and you are not doing an extra job to your body, in that when you are working out, let it not be in this case that you are going to work out and you yourself have you have the ideal body weight and you are doing a strenuous exercise. So it should be within the goal that is within the limit. And also, as you consider this, I would want also to remind our viewers that as in the event of working out, water is also an important thing that you need to consider, because when you go out to the gym, you tend to lose a lot of water. That could be through breathing, that could be through sweating. So it's also important to dehydrate at any given time, because you know that water is life, and also in your body you have blood. So water makes that composition to within the normal range. So you need also to hydrate to boost your brain, and also considering that, you also need to sorry, you also need to take note of the sugars that you have in your diet, because you know in this generation we are doing too much sugars, and yet these things they add too much weight. That is because when
starch and carbohydrates.
Because when sugar is in the excess, it tends to be converted into glycogen, which is stored in the body. Sorry.
Okay. All right. And so Achieng, most of the times, and this is out of experience and perhaps the consultations that I've made, you realize that with age, there's that change in the needs of nutrition. Why is this?
Thank you so much. There's something called nutrition in the lifespan. This is nutrition in different stages of life. When a child is born, when a child is inside the mother's womb, the nutritional needs are different. When they are born, when they start crawling, when they start walking, going to school, until when now they become aged, the nutritional needs are different. This is because, for example, the elderly, as they age, you find that their mobilization reduces, so they need less of the carbohydrates, and their protein needs increases because their bodies are degenerating. So it's important, even as you, it's important that it's important that the nutrition for the elderly is important, because you know as they age, also immunity is an issue. So we also need foods that will boost their immunity. So if you consider an elderly with an adolescent who is more active, you cannot give these people the same food, right? An adolescent is more active, will need more of energy-giving foods. An elderly, most of them are immobile, or if they move, they don't move a lot.
Right.
So if you pump much energy into them, it will not be that helpful. Yeah, so to the elderly, we do less carbohydrates. Those are the energy-giving foods, and more of the proteins, considering the fact that their bones are also becoming weak, so we still need to strengthen such. Yeah, so for the elderly, we'll do less of the carbohydrates, more of the proteins and vitamins for immunity strength and for the strength of bones. Also to replenish the muscles that are wasting away.
And this then applies also to those ones that are, say, on workout sessions or you know, certain activities, because you realize that with time there's that adaptation of exercise even to that levels where people are old, they still embrace and focus so much on exercise. I mean, this is also recommended by the medics. And so when you look at this, they go in tandem as you look at the question of age.
Yeah, that is very true. Exercise is very important to those who are aging. Just as I had said, they have less mobility, and exercise will strengthen, number one, their bones. Exercise also helps in improving appetite, because you know sometimes they'll just sit there since morning, they just sat they're there till evening, so their appetite might get reduced. So when we engage them in exercise, this helps in increase their appetite. It also helps them to be more active. It helps them to strengthen their bones, and in so doing, it promotes their well-being.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gladys, we've talked about how, you know, individual then nutrition would be to physical activity depending on what one wants to achieve. But are there the standards and the general ones and the basics that, you know, anyone, even before they get to consult their dietitian or the nutritionist, would have, you know, the things that you start with? You know, for instance, you say, from today onwards, I want to do exercise back at home without involving a dietitian, without perhaps hitting the gym. What are the most basic things that one looks at? For instance, when you say, before I get to hit the gym or before I start my exercise, this is what I take. Perhaps, like you rightfully say, get into that space where you make sure that you have, you know, water, you know, dehydrate as much as possible, and then once I am done, then this is it that I would do.
Okay, thank you so much for the session. Actually, when you talk about the general, like the normal intake for each and every person, the normal population, we have a constitution of 7 food groups in our pyramid, and so these food groups contains different food categories. And so for any person that would want to consume at any given time, we recommend that they do at least 4 food groups in every meal. That will consist that we have the protein, and the protein will do a portion. When it comes to your plate, we have a quarter of your plate. And then we go to the proteins. Proteins could either be a plant protein or an animal protein. So we also recommend that it be a quarter of your plate. And when it comes to the vitamins, in your plate, we recommend that it be half for your intake. So with that in mind, so we'll also include a little bit of fat, because we do it in moderation. So essentially, those are the basic things that you need to consider as you do your diet.
Carbohydrates too.
Yeah,
I think we've mentioned proteins twice and did not incorporate carbohydrates here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Your carbohydrates should also be in your diet, a quarter of it in your portion.
Okay.
So that means you will have your protein, your carbohydrate, and your vitamin in every given meal, be it your breakfast, be it your lunchtime, be it your supper, and also when you're doing snack, you also need to consider that.
All right.
Yeah, to make sure that your intake is within the limit.
The discipline, though, unfortunately, we do not have the discipline, but all the same, you know, we keep spreading the gospel, because it's very, very important that people understand how nutrition is key, not just when you want to exercise, but generally. Your parting shots as we come to a close, Achieng.
Just to add a little bit on your question, it's important when you want to start doing your workouts anywhere, you know that during the exercise you'll be using a lot of energy, so you need to increase your carbohydrate intake to get enough fuel for the exercise. Also proteins you'll have to increase, your protein levels, because after the exercise your muscles will be worn out and it's important to rebuild your muscles, so the protein is very important. Also the vegetables and fruits, most of them are antioxidants that help also after the exercise. So when you've decided that now you want to start this exercise, whether at home or at the gym, you need to know that you need to increase your energy intake and your protein intake.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Asante sana. As we close, what will be your parting shot?
For us to be healthy, we need to consider what we eat, because we know we are what we eat. So be cautious when you're also doing your exercise. Be cautious with what you take each and every day.
Asante sana.
Thank
Thank you so much. Unless you have something else to add, Achieng, can we close it? That's fine, yeah? All right, thank you so much, nutritionist Gladys Chepkurui, as well as Geneva Achieng, for speaking to us. It was all about nutrition and fitness, but it goes beyond that. It should be a daily activity. You should have that discipline of making sure that you get to balance your nutrition or get a balanced diet on every meal that you partake. This then will speak tomorrow, because you will avoid a lot of health issues, as nutritionists would rightfully put it. Let's close it, not in totality. In a bit, we get to the world of pharmacy. If you want to avoid medicine, you say get your food right, but at the same time we realize that we're in that space where medicine is also at the heart of a healthy being, and so we'll have that conversation in a